Listen to herself. When she don't listen to herself, she can't hear her voice.
She's hearing like repeatedly, like herself.
Yeah, she don't listen to herself. You have to talk any devices around her.
Okay.
She's also
Sophie, do you have any device around you?
So that might be.
Like any phone, extra phone that maybe that's the
No,
reason why you hear yourself.
no, I don't have.
You don't have it?
No. I'm
Oh.
just gonna try to maintain. Like, I just wanted to let you guys know that if I talk funny or if it's because it's I
should we
keep
just
on hearing myself repeating.
should we just
Yeah.
send her a code to enter?
Are we live right now?
No problem. Yeah, we live.
All right, Joe. You can see Joe there fixing things as usual. E, can you hear me?
Clearly.
All right. What about Joe? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Alright.
100%. Can you hear me though?
No, speak louder.
Can you hear me now?
Say it again.
I mean, can you hear me?
I beg hear this.
I can hear you.
Hey, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, the
I think Joe's
Yeah,
off.
but you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
The
Okay.
microphone is not on.
What about Sophie? Can you hear me?
Can you hear him
Yeah, I
now?
can hear you. Yeah,
Alright,
I can hear.
The microphone on.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is that E?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Actually,
Jojo.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Good.
you have to always
Sophie.
press the button on.
Yes.
Good to go.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, so now we're live.
Now we are live. Okay, guys. Welcome to Jesse Radio Talk Show Hour. I'm your host today, Miss D, the one and only. And today we're going to talk about mental health. As you guys know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Last week we had a mental health discussion about the fellas, and I wanted to go deep this week about Africans, why Africans should take mental health seriously. And tonight I'm joined by my special guest. We have the one and only Afro Queen, Sophie Cap.
Whoop, whoop.
She would have been here with us today, but unfortunately she's in Tampere, so she's going to join us through live stream. And then I have my brother all the way from Oulu, Elijah Jr.
Representing the Northern City.
Welcome.
Olu is in the building.
How
Too
are
bad I
you?
can't see you guys. The
Yeah,
screen
oh,
is so
yes,
small.
Yes, so we can see.
Oh, but we see her coming.
I can't
Sophie,
even see myself. I don't even know how I look right now. The
you
screen
look
is so
great.
small.
You look fine, Sophie.
You look great, honey. You look like a goddess.
Thank you.
So, E, you were saying,
Well, it's nice to be here. Really, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So
yeah.
it's nice to finally see you. Miss.
Finally, we met after
Good to see you,
after
Joe.
few years.
Yeah, we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been building low key for a while. So
Exactly.
it's finally good to be together now.
Exactly. We're gonna talk about more about our project, but we have Jojo in the building.
Big Joe.
Yeah,
Big Joe.
What up, Joe?
home,
What
I'm
up,
home.
Joe?
Hello, Joe.
Yeah, I actually, Joe, thank you for coming.
No, anytime.
Last week you were with us when we were talking about this mental health issue.
100%.
Yeah, and really appreciated your impact, your input on that topic. That is why I felt the reason to invite you a second time here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is something that is very important to all of us, and for me especially is really dear to my heart. So
Yeah,
anytime I get an invitation, I'm honored, but I'm also happy to share my knowledge and experience. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
definitely. Sophie. So, can you guys see Sophie from there?
Yeah, she's there.
All right. Anyway, before we start, guys, I would like the audience to know more about you guys. Godson and Jojo, people already know. Most of the people already know who you are and what you represent. So you are a fitness model, a brand owner, and ladies, he's a caretaker. Caretaker, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much,
So
yeah.
I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I always make fun with my friends that, as a nurse, if you're sick, I'll be there to take care of you. But
Yeah.
prevention is better than cure. So as a fitness enthusiast, we can help prevent,
From getting sick.
exactly. But either way, I got you. So
Yeah. So definitely you have like the fitness aspect,
Right.
and
right.
also if somebody gets sick, you know what to tell them and advice.
Anytime.
That's really great. And then we have Elijah, a youth counselor. Are you still doing youth counseling?
Yeah, very much, very much. We do a lot of projects in the city of Oulu.
Okay.
In conjunction with Oulu City, of course. As a youth advocate, to say the least. So, yeah, been doing this youth work for a while now, and it's, like Joe said, it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. So when we talk about the youth, we'll of course have to talk about mental health. So
Definitely.
it's a great opportunity to actually be here, and it couldn't be a better topic. I appreciate this topic so much, and I'm sure we're going to dive deep into it later on.
Could you come closer to the mic? Joe Joe is watching us from outside there. He said you should come close to your mic.
Good?
Yeah. So how has it been being a youth counselor? You know, I know you have witnessed so many different cases, you know.
Yeah, a lot. Well, you know, it can be challenging at times, you know, seeing the trajectory of where the situation of the youth nowadays is going. But also, I think nowadays we've got a lot of tools to help them.
Okay.
You know, whether through sports, social activities, fun stuff like that, which, you know, is always encouraging to see. So I think there's a balance, you know, right now. And I think a lot of people are also getting the awareness that they need when it comes to social activities, especially when it related to mental health, because all of these things, you know, when you put them together, they all come back to mental health situation, because either, you know, helps you become better or actually takes you a hole down the hole, and that's something that we try to prevent, especially as youth workers.
Okay, we're gonna go more deep into that. Like, what are the tools and ways you guys are using to prevent, you know, those young kids from having mental breakdown, perhaps? As you know, Finland is listed as the #1 happiest country, but I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah, I always
Like,
Yeah, Sophie, Sophie, I heard you laughing there. You have something to say about that?
I mean,
One of the happiest women in Finland.
the people said what they say. I'm gonna stick with that.
Let's leave it at that. Joe, what do you think?
Okay.
Do you think it's the happiest country?
Yeah, let's keep it.
For me, to be honest, I think it's based on what the barometers they are using to check it. You know, I mean, if you ask people in the street, you get a different response. But I think it's based on the things that we have in Finland. You know, education, healthcare,
Exactly.
social, you know.
Yes.
So of course, if you check it based on those things, then definitely, because if you go to other countries,
Yes,
clearly,
that's true.
you know. But if you go to the street, you might get another response for sure.
That is true.
Exactly.
Guys, I would like you guys to share your own experience. Like, what are the things that you know, Finland contributes to your happiness with? Like, we all live in Finland. You know, we
Yeah,
gotta
that's true.
appreciate this country.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, personally, Ms. Eve, I'm gonna speak on that. I think, I mean, I decided to stay here permanently because, of course, there was something that I wanted. I lived in 12 countries because I used to play professional football back in the days. And eventually I decided to live here permanently, you know, settle down with family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a certain kind of peace and assurance that comes with the, you know, the environment here. The socioeconomic factors that we talk about, you know, Joe was mentioning that before. And I think that's the reason why they named it the happiest country, because you're certain that when you go to work, you're actually going to make a living.
That is true.
And you're certain that you're going to be able to eat. How many homelessness do we have here? When you go to other countries, there's a lot of, you know, things like that actually contributes
That is true.
to a lot of things that actually are disadvantage to the society. But over here, I think they've been they've done very well in balancing the whole thing. You might not be the wealthiest, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight or anything like that, but you're going to live like a stable life.
Yeah, very stable life.
So I think
Exactly,
the
yeah.
stability, the stability is the most important thing to me as a person, and that's the reason why I've chosen to live here.
Yeah, I could actually 100% agree with you on that. Sophie, what do you say? Do you agree with what EJ just said?
Very much. I very much agree with him. As a mom, for me, on the other side, there's a big benefit for me having kids in this country. I'm more relaxed. I am knowing that my children are not in danger. And, you know, just everything in general. Once you are doing the right thing, as parents here, this is great place to have our kids study and everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. What about you, Jojo?
Yeah, for me, like a lot of time, I'll tell. This is my opinion. I always say to friends like Finland is the best country in the world. I mean, according to me, one, when I lived in Ghana, I wanted to go to university. I didn't make it for various reasons, and then when I was in England, I wanted to go to university, but it was super expensive. So when I came to Finland, this is something that, I got a free education. And education,
Exactly
I
that.
believe, is something that when somebody gives to you, they've given you tools to basically survive.
That's true.
So for me, education was very important to me, and Finland gave me that. So like I owe Finland, a lot for that. Secondly, when I was talking about stigmatization and stuff like that, I'm a person who always loved art and fashion and stuff. But like back home in Africa, there's like limits to how fashionable you can be.
Yeah, exactly.
When I came to Finland, I was like, I'm free like a bird. So I started to.
You can be you, dress the way you want to dress.
Exactly. So when we talk about freedom,
Me too.
education, for me, this is like, it's the best thing I could be for sure.
That's true.
Definitely. I mean, we're talking about
Exactly.
fashion, but you guys all have different fashion. Look at our Queen Sophie. Can you guys see?
Swag.
Yeah.
Swag.
She had to make sure she had to bring her shade on.
Sophie's killing it right
I
now.
mean, what? I had to wear the shades because the screen is small and I can't see anything. So my eyes are going like this. So I just put the shades.
That's good. I think it looks good.
It looks good. You look fabulous, babe. You look
Thank
fabulous.
you.
With you, Sophie.
Okay, guys, let's
Thank
get
you.
right into it. I actually want to share something very sad with you guys. As you know, I work as a conductor.
Yeah.
This something happened last week, Tuesday, talking about
Yeah.
mental health, and I had to share this story here, and I hope that the person who did that, the parents are not listening right now. But there was a lady, she's 20 years old, who actually jumped in one of my trains, and
She jumped off the train?
she jumped, and suicidal.
Oh.
Yeah, she was battling, and she's actually a social media influencer. So she was battling like mental health for many, many years, and she seeks for help, but nobody could help her. She didn't have the right tools to be helped.
Wow.
So she even wrote like in her social media handles, like, you know what, I've been struggling with mental health issues, and I've asked help. Nobody seems to help me, so I'm lost. And now I know I'm gonna do something to make me happy. Finally, she wrote that as a goodbye letter,
Wow.
And on Tuesday, no, the 27th of
April.
the 27th of April, in Tapanila, she finally took off. She jumped.
Oh,
So
God.
this is the reason why I felt the need to really speak on these important matters, because you don't know who you can save by this message. We Africans, everybody's battling different mental issues in their own different ways. But I believe that what we can share to prevent that, as Jojo just say, what is it? The cure is better than
Prevention is better than cure.
exactly.
Yes.
Prevention is better than cure. So we are preventing one or
Exactly.
two people from, doing what that young lady did. She was only 20 years old, guys.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah. Sending
Yeah.
love and light.
This is so sad.
Peace
Yeah.
to the family, man. Prayers out to the family.
Yeah.
So let's go. Yeah. So talking about mental health, guys, how important mental health you think is in our African community? I want to hear your opinion on that.
Well, the problem with the mental health aspect of things is that we as Africans, we don't take it serious. And I think Joe said something about stigmatization. This is one of the most stigmatized topics in the African community. Oh, okay, a man, you're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be tough. You're not supposed to show weakness. You're not supposed to, I mean, you can go through any struggle, which is totally the opposite of reality. When you're here, there'll be days when you're tired. There will be days when the reality of life is just kicking you, and you just need an outlet to to put it. So I think first of all, it's important that as Africans we remove that facade, the facade
Exactly.
where we're tough, where we're survivors. Wherever we are, we can survive.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of times people are just suffering in silence. That people who've actually taking their own lives silently. Where we,
Mm.
this is a story that you know because it happened where you are. How about the
Absolutely.
people that are actually living but they're dead?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's something. So I think first and foremost, I think it's important that we as Africans remove the facade of we're too tough or too strong or mentally capable, that we're not we can't go through any kind of mental health issues, because
Yeah.
then when it do arises, instead of you dealing with it, you're hiding from it, and that's the worst thing that can happen to anyone. Once you're not able to identify what exactly your troubles are, because you're not able to speak out, you're not able to show emotions, nobody knows what's going on with you. So I think the facade itself is the most important part. Take that off. Know that you're, as a human being, no matter where you are, what you do, there will be good days, there will be bad days, there will be days that you need a shoulder to lean on, and there will be days that you want to be by yourself, but
Exactly.
just know how to manage all of those things.
You gotta be realistic within yourself. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true. So, Joe.
Yeah, for me, to be honest, I think also, when I was in nursing school in uni, right, and we had a course on mental health. So when the teacher brought a topic up, and then he said there's like depression in Africa. I think there was like some of my classmates. We were basically from different kind of African countries, but we all went straight on the offensive that there's no depression in Africa.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
my stance.
Yeah.
So for me, even before I could graduate from nursing school, mental health was the last course that I had to pass before I could graduate. Right. So I think like we need a lot of awareness. So this is really good that we're doing this now, because
Exactly.
then we kind of creating the awareness so people know.
Exactly.
I think now also because of social media, things have changed a little bit, because to be honest, as at that point, I really hadn't heard in Africa that anybody was depressed or what is depression and so forth.
Exactly.
But now,
Yeah.
but now I think because of social media, like I've seen even celebrities from my country who are really sharing their,
They're
like
coming out.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like now there's more awareness, so people are, The second thing I also think is that because if you're coming from an African background, there is this religious aspect that everything is caused by the devil or by God,
Yeah.
So
Demonic,
even when we say
yeah.
people have
Or
mental
witchcraft.
problem or any kind of psychiatric problems,
It's a
we would say it's the devil, it's the
Exactly.
demon.
Exactly.
So
You turn to Jesus to pray it away.
exactly, exactly. And
Quick fix.
yeah, so there are things that you go to the pastor for healing and prayers, but there are certain things that
Exactly.
also you need more professionals. So I think like awareness and education would do a lot of good for the African community for sure.
That is so true. Sophie, let's get into the depression topic. Actually, to be honest with you, I gotta be honest, because before this whole mental health issue, let's say 5-10 years ago, I was that same person. When you talk about African being depressed, I'm like, no, we're not. What is depression? You know what I mean? Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Because, but until I've been around some friends of mine, Sophie is one of my friends who actually, I took the time to educate myself what she was going through. So even though I was like, okay, you're having mental breakdown, it's gonna be okay. But what is mental breakdown? What is depression? Like it was that important to me that I needed to sit down and actually know about this topic. And then I realized,
Exactly.
you know what? This is bigger than what I thought. I just thought it was just, like she was just going through a phase or through a mood swing, but it's not. It's something that she herself cannot even handle. It's just something that,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So, Sophie, thank you for educating me about that. And for those people who really don't have the, mindset or concept, like what is depression, could you please, like, educate our viewers out there, because, you have been through it back and forth for many years, and now you're perfectly fine. But for those people who like going through it, but they don't know if this is depression, what are the signs? What are the early signs of depression? Let's say it like that.
Let me tell you, people with depression, they don't get back perfectly fine. It's something you
battle
have to,
Yeah.
you have to deal with it, and you have to learn how to control yourself to deal with it when it's that time, and accepting that this is happening now and I must deal with it in a certain way, and it's not permanent.
So basically, this take me back our last week conversation with the guys. Some guys, when they're dealing with depression, they, some of the ways they handle, they do physical activities like gym and stuff like that. So some people know that, you know what, I'm getting this type of feelings. So how to tackle that? You do things that makes you happy so you won't be in that space. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Go on, yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something because I mean, it's good to do like a self-diagnosis. Good sometimes, but a lot of times you need professional advice.
Definitely.
That's the thing.
Especially if you're not able to pinpoint where exactly your problem is coming from. Personally, I went through my own kind of mental health crisis about 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Or 8 years ago when I was still really into the professional football world. I actually went for anger management class for 8 months.
Yeah.
So I took therapy sessions for 8 months, twice a week for 8 months. That was kind of like a life-changing experience for me. So initially, I remember the early signs, breaking things, and I had my own issues, but the way that I would react to the simplest of things were like so outrageous.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The thing with that is that sometimes people might point it out at you, but then before you really get to the realization that something is wrong, things might have been, things might have gone really, really, really bad. So I think sometimes, when we're close to people who are like actual friends, you mentioned that, Sophie was, you had a conversation with her, and which gave you like a different sense of understanding. So I think those kind of friendships are important. I know we're in a community or a country where everyone is by themselves and,
exactly.
I do my own thing, you do your own thing, but it's very difficult for anyone to go into that, mental health crisis and come out by themselves with their own will. The will is important, but the support is very, very essential.
Very important. That's
and also
exactly.
the professional help, because man, we as Africans, we don't want to ask for professional help. You want to diagnose yourself. You're having a headache.
Right.
How many times, if you ask 9 out of 10 Africans, we've not gone for full body checkup in the last 5 years. That's a fact.
Right.
According to the statistics. I was, a friend of mine got very, very ill recently, and guess what? It told him. They said, since he's been to this country, he had not taken the vitamin D. So the first thing they had to do for him was actually start dripping him off with vitamin D. So these are the simple things. Some of the things don't just happen overnight. They come from
exactly.
Seeking open
about what you're going through.
We're in a strange land. Whether we like it or we live here permanently, yes, we have a friend, maybe kids, maybe whatever the case may be. But there's certain things where you're gonna actually need someone to actually pull your heart. So I think it's important that self-awareness. That's very important.
That's true.
And also
exactly.
Professional help.
Seeking professional help. That's like the major number one then. Because, as you know, we Africans, like you said, we are our own doctors.
Oh, man.
We are our doctors. When we feel in some type of way, okay, it's gonna go away. We pray about it.
You hear from old people saying that they don't want to go to the doctor because doctors cause them sicknesses and tell them about
wait, say it again. They don't want to go to the doctor because what?
Because they think the doctors are the one causing the stuff they're finding in them, so they rather stay away. If I go to the doctor, they will tell me I'm dying, so I rather stay away.
Oh my God. That brings me to my next question, guys. What are some of the unique challenges faced by Africans when it comes to assessing mental health care, and how can we work to overcome those barriers? Jojo, let's start with Jojo.
Okay, thanks for the question. And the thing is, like, going back to what he just said, self-awareness is very important, because then you can tell when you're feeling good or when you're not feeling good. And then also, like you said, seeking professional help, if that is an option. So using myself as an assumption, like as an example, like the way you said, you've been through therapy twice, for 8 months.
Yeah.
So he did the right thing. He seek professional help.
Exactly.
And Sophie, I believe, had self-awareness and probably
Sophie also seek professional help.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So now, in my
exactly.
case, like I said earlier on, I was coming from that point of view that there is no depression in Africa, right? So when it was my time, seeking professional help was not an option for me. So I was doing the self, medication kind of things. But still, I was so self-aware to understand, like, this is not helping, that is not helping, that is not helping.
Exactly.
So eventually, the kind of help that I thought I could seek, which was a little bit higher than what I thought could help, was going to the monastery and learning about Buddhism, and that's what I did.
Wow.
Now, when I went there, you see, this is where, like you were saying, seeking professional help to be able to identify what is wrong with you, because depression for many people can mean many different things.
Different ways.
And clearly, there are some people who have chemical imbalances who need, medication and stuff. And then there are certain people who just need like different perspectives, So for me, what happened to me is like, I went to live with the monks in the monastery, and then I was learning from them. So from them, when I was getting different perspectives and clarities, they were able to help me to navigate, to see really like what is the root cause of the thing. So at some point I realized like I'm not, it's just the way I was thinking about the whole thing, like the whole situation that was making me feel the way I was feeling. So when I was coming back, they had taught me a lot of different things like dieting, meditation, reading, how to really formulate perspectives and stuff like that. So when I had those kind of tools, and also living in like poor environment, I saw people being happy for many different little things. So I said, okay, now I'm ready to go back. So at that point, I wasn't even going to come back to Finland. And I couldn't even go back to Ghana because I was thinking if I go to Ghana, people will figure it out. Luckily, I went there, which I believe everything is happening. Everything happens for a reason. So when I came back there, I changed completely. So the awareness is very important, but also seeking professional help. So you might be able to know where you are. But at the end of the day, you can see that clearly all three of us seek some kind of help. And
that's why we are here. Exactly.
Wow.
I like what you said, because one of the most important things, when it comes to mental health, is actually being able to be by yourself. Being able to be by yourself. You mentioned something about the meditation. I remember when I was, going through the anger management thing, that meditation was one of the biggest part of actually calming yourself down. People go through different things. We react to different situations in life differently. Somebody might get sacked from their job and they're crying all day. Somebody else might get sacked and they just roaming around. Nobody can figure it out. So it's all about the emotions and how we control our emotions. You were asking, earlier, Ms. D, about like, what are some of the things that we face when it comes to
challenges.
The challenges that we face. Well, I think self-sabotage is one of the the biggest problem I think we have, because if you look at the environment here, the tools are there. The tools
exactly.
are there.
Yeah.
Like, when I visited my friend at the hospital, I asked a lot of questions about like the health and all those kind of things. And we as Africans, we really don't take advantage of even 10% of the things that are allocated to us here that we can actually get. So one of those things is that, I mean, we can say it's a hindrance, but we are the cause of that hindrance. So I would say, first of all, as we've been talking before, once you identify that there's something wrong, seek professional help. It's not everything that you're going to get injected with.
That's true.
It's not everything that you're going to be taken to the hospital bed and they will lay you down and keep you there.
Yeah.
As Sophie said that, we go to the hospital and all of a sudden we think that's where all the sicknesses start.
Yeah.
So
it's just that poor mindset that we have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it also comes out to what Joe said, the religious aspect of things. I'm a good Christian, but I know when it's time to take Burana, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a good Christian, but I know that if I don't take shower for 2 days, I might be stinking in here.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, exactly.
So like common sense, and some things, of course, requires extra work. But I think most importantly, we shouldn't stand in our own way. And also, I should get this out before I forget. If you're a friend to someone who is, who is not well, going through one thing or the other, whether it's work related, finances, marriage, relationship, whatever the case may be. Don't be the one to advise them to be tough. Don't be the one to tell them, oh, come on, it's gonna be okay.
Pull through, you got
Yeah.
this.
Don't be
Yes.
that one. Don't be that
Yeah.
because most
Exactly.
times it happens that way that, maybe as African, Joe is my closest friend. Man, Joe, man, I'm having this hard time at work and man, don't mind this finished report. Don't mind this one. Don't mind that one. Just go there, top your head, put your head up. Hey, come on.
Exactly.
You cannot fire for fire.
No.
Sometimes you gotta take it easy. Sometimes you gotta know how to put your emotions forward and to handle situations.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you gotta be vulnerable at
Yes.
some point, and it's
Yeah.
okay to be vulnerable. There's not,
That's what we're saying.
yeah.
That's what we're saying. Being a man is not about how tough
Tough
or
you can be.
cry.
Exactly.
I know a lot of big guys who don't cry outside, but when they're in the closed bed on the shelter, they cry.
Exactly. We all know few of them.
We all know few of them, and I've witnessed few.
I remember crying.
It's
one day
okay
at a
for a
guy,
man to cry. It's okay. It's fine.
And I was, crying because, I'm an emotional person. And I let it out wherever it is. I don't mind crying. If something
Exactly.
really touches my heart, right, I'm gonna
We
cry.
love that. We love that.
And
Exactly.
This brother of mine said, oh, man, I can't believe you stood there and cried. Like, yeah, I know you cry more than I do. You just do yours by impulse, so don't even try.
That's the thing.
Guys, if you're listening out there, it's okay. Just be in touch with your emotions.
Yeah.
Being strong doesn't mean that you have to be strong. It's okay to be, strong.
Yeah.
But also,
It's
like,
okay to
face
experience
the
all the
reality because-
emotions.
Exactly, like EJ, you were just saying that most people they hide behind that toughness. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I
Yes.
gotta be tough.
Yeah.
You gotta be nothing. It's not compulsory for you to be tough or.
I used to be one of them.
Yeah,
What did Sophie say? I didn't get that.
Sophie used to be one of them.
Oh, it used to be the tough one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think for me and Sophie, it's more like. I think what we can speak for all of us. It's like how you were raised. You cannot.
Yeah,
show your
exactly.
weakness. And especially
Yeah.
as mothers,
Mm.
you gotta be strong for your kids.
Mm.
Whatever you're going through, for me right now, I can share also a few experiences with my own. How I realized that okay, you know what, I'm not okay, because I've always been I'm actually the therapist. My friends, everybody call me. So I'm that kind of person, like the strong person. They never see me fall. They never see me. Okay, they see me cry, happy tears, of course. But I've never been the one like admit like, you know what, I'm not okay, because I've always been like, I'm okay. But deep down, when I had my daughter, Chelsea, my first daughter, after I heard her and everything that I went through, and then the first time it hit me, post-trauma. I don't know if you guys know what is post-trauma. Yeah. So I had that, but I didn't know what I was going through. My emotions was all over the place. But then I seek for this Perhenevola. They have psychiatrists there. And then I explained.
Psychosis.
No.
Psychiatrist.
Psychosis, sorry.
Okay.
But I was going through those psychosis too, trust me. I wasn't myself. But even though I wasn't myself, I would never tell my friend or show my friend, because I just feel like most of my friends, they just view me as this strong person, as this, advisor, as this.
But I
Wonder
always
Woman.
know.
Yeah, but because I opened up to you, baby. That's the difference.
No, I mean, spiritually, sometimes I will call you and say that I feel something is going on with
You're
you.
right. You're right.
And you explain
that's
to
how
me.
you know when you have a true friend, when you have a sister friend, because they know when you're not okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I went through those emotions, I had to seek professional help. And then they told me what I was dealing with. Like, it's normal for many moms after giving birth. Most moms, they experience that. And then it took a while. It took a while for me to be myself again. But I'm happy that I went through that, because it made me also understood other moms and what they're going through, and how I could be of help. So for me, my help, as Giorgio was saying last time, that this fitness help you through. For me, my help also, what helped me through is also like being active. You know, when
Mm.
it comes to being active, being with friends. I like to cook for my friends. I like to host. I like to
Mm.
host dinner parties. So I always have people over. Will invite because I never like to be alone.
Yeah.
So that was
Mm.
something that was pulling me through
Yeah.
with my own depression. So for that, I'm truly like happy to have good friends around me.
So if
Mm.
it's okay, I will just add a little bit too,
Yeah.
you know, because for me, I'm like, I'm a very, you know, I'm big on fitness and stuff like that. So now
Yeah.
when you mention fitness, I actually would like to just say this because one time I saw an article and I was a little bit like, so it was done in the sub-Saharan region, and then it said like in all of Africa there is only 10% chance for getting any type of help with any psychiatric, you know, disease.
Mm.
10%. So that was very scary because Africa is really huge. So now I started
Exactly.
to think about it, you know, break it down. I'm like, okay, if that is the case, then it means even the richest people in Africa don't have access. But then I read another article, which I believe, you know, at the moment it's like really taking grounds that, you know, physical activity, you know, they are really hugely considering it. So when I saw that, I was a little bit happy because, you know, me personally, when I lived in Ghana, I grew up in the village. So physical activity was not a problem because, I mean,
You're used to it.
that was the way of life.
Yeah.
Now the only problem we
Same
have
here.
also in Africa is like, you know, when it comes to fitness, again, even that itself has its own stigmatization, you know. So but if fitness has any chance of helping, you know, alleviating at least, you know, or helping in a way, then at least we have hope.
That's
that
true.
you know, we just need to start explaining to the people that being obese or whatever is not good living. Not necessarily. It might be for some people, but it's not necessarily. But if fitness or physical activity has any chance of helping us with, you know, with dealing with mental health issues or, you know, alleviating at least, then we have a hope at least compared to the 10% possibility of any kind of professional psychiatric help. So fitness, I think, is something that, you know, I live with that because that's what really, you know, kept me going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
I think we should promote fitness as well.
I mean, we're promoting fitness for those people who are into fitness, you know. A lot of people
Yeah.
are into arts, you know, different type of thing that makes you happy. So just do the thing that will make you happy.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like literally when you feel down, something is about to go down, go and do what you good at and what you do. Like it's all
I'm sure
about
Sophie writes,
distracting
you write some of the
sometimes.
best music when you know when you
When
have
you-
those moments.
Oh, I'm telling you, I never write songs when I'm happy.
Yeah.
I, I write my songs when I'm blue. So
A lot of sad songs over there.
when I'm happy, I'm busy being happy and living my life. So
Yeah,
I seen a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche one time that, you know, sometimes we are in such a hurry to get rid of that part of us that we feel is making us depressed. But if you're a creative person, you should learn how to cope with that because maybe that might be, you know, your tool for being creative.
That's the most
yeah.
creative time.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going through with my depression is
100%.
from the first time I learned to accept that when I'm depressed, and I have to be there in that moment because it's gonna change.
Mm.
So the moment I understood that, my life has changed things. So it's like when I have my ups and down, when I have my downs, I know that I'm here for a reason. Everything is gonna be okay. Before, when I'm down, all I will think is like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. My life is over. Nothing is well. Nothing is
Because
better. That was,
you were having a hard
yeah.
time accepting your reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Now
also because I couldn't talk to anybody about it, and I was thinking, because for Africans, sometimes not sometimes, most of the time, mental health for them, when you say that, it means you are a mad person eating trash in the street,
I
that
agree.
is true.
you
I
know.
agree.
That is true. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the only thing. That's the only thing they think about. So it was for me like I was dealing with that by myself all the time because I couldn't talk to nobody. And when you talk to somebody, they tell you you're African. Those things are white people thing,
Yeah.
you know.
That is so
So
true. That is so true.
That's
it was tough.
It is tough to be an African. Sophie, actually, this leads me to my next question for you. What are some of the common myths and misconceptions about mental health that exist with our African community? And how can we break down the barriers to promote greater understanding and support within our African community?
I think it's about listening to one another when somebody's in trouble or somebody's not doing well. I mean, help is not only about financial and all that. That's what most of the African people also think. Like, me asking for help can be only like, can you listen to me when I'm talking? You don't have to say anything.
You
I'm
just
going
want to
through
be
something.
heard.
I need to talk.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to let it out inside of being with it. And so if we can learn to understand when somebody's going through something and literally understanding that this is really happening to this person, and try to help in any way you can, if it's by listening or are you gonna make phone calls, anything you can. And for me, with the people with depression, I recommend please talk to somebody. It doesn't, if somebody's gonna talk bad about you because you share about what you're going through, let them be. You
They
talking
shouldn't be
about
ashamed
it,
to say, yeah.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Mm.
I think that's also a stigma on it, of its own when we talk about the African community. I go to Joe and say, listen, Joe, man, I'm having this issue, that issues, and I pour my heart out to you, and of course you're there for me as a friend. You maybe encourage me, and then the next day I hear from Miss D that, oh, yeah, I heard Joe said that these are some of the things, man. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. If I come to you in confident that, hey, as my friend, I'm sharing my personal issues with you. I want
Exactly.
you to be there. Just be there and let the rest go. We as Africans, as African community, we don't know how to keep people's issues for them.
Yeah, it's like right away running
Exactly.
to somebody else. Like it's always
It's
expecting
like,
somebody's downfall.
Yeah. So
But
because that the problem with that, sorry, Sophie. The problem
yeah, it's
with
fine.
that is that you actually dig a deeper hole for that person.
Mm.
Instead of them to heal, they might fall into a deeper depression. So please,
Exactly.
I think that's one of the stigmas, one of the troubles that we have is that we have a hard time opening up to each other because of the fear that somebody might tell some of your your deepest secrets. So please, be your brother's keeper, be your sister's keeper. Somebody comes to you in a state of vulnerability and opens up to you about their personal, private issues. If you cannot hold it, don't listen to it. And if you listen to it,
Exactly.
just be your friend and keep it. That's it. Let it be that. Let it be that way. I think that's something that's common. I just had to get that out.
amen to
The,
that.
the problem with the
Amen to
African
that.
people is actually when you open up to them, they actually try to stay away from you. It's like you have some sort of disease, you know? It's like that one is crazy. Don't talk to that one. Can you imagine what she or he was saying?
It's a hypocritical behavior because whether we like it or not, everybody got one or two things they're dealing with in the corner of their own home.
I think so. I think also it's really brave enough for somebody else to feel comfortable enough to open up to another individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because imagine battling with those thoughts in your head, and finally you said, you know what, I'm gonna open up to that somebody. That's already a risk enough, and you opening up to me, and me finding pleasure in your pain. That is what Sophie is talking about, because it's like, Sophie is telling me, oh, I'm going through this, and I'm already thinking, I'm gonna call this girl and talk about this. It's like you're laughing. I'm laughing at your pain, basically.
Yeah, I don't know how it is with the women, but because women sometimes you're in so much competition with each other.
Like, that's
so
another
much.
Topic on Chat with Miss
So
Day.
much.
That's another topic. That's another topic on Chat with Miss Day.
So the thing is this, right? If we're talking about friends, if I'm going through certain issues, that's what I'm trying to say. If I'm going through certain issues, I know who's a real friend. A real friend means somebody you've actually shared some important times, like you've cried together. The person has cried to you. You've cried at them. You've solved it. You have not heard from the third party that this person had actually brought your issue up. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like boys group, girls group, where you just because this person we dress together, we go out for dates, and my best friend, you're gonna go tell them your deepest secret. That creates more problems. So please,
right,
when you're sharing these issues, too, it's important to be sure of the kind of people that you share your innermost secret, because it will either make you or break you. So that's
exactly. That's the risk I've been taking most of the time.
You need to get rid of Miss D and the other friends that you have.
Sophie.
Get some
Sophie
new
can't get
friends.
rid of me.
I can never.
They'll be
No.
taking your business all over the place.
I can never. I can never.
No,
I,
but, you know,
um.
but I get what he's saying, and for
Mm,
me and Sophie, we go way back, over 15 years of friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you
that's
have,
solid.
yeah, when you have that long friendship, you already know each other from
That's
back and
solid.
forth.
That's solid.
And the thing about me, a lot of people knows me, and they think that I'm this friendly type of person, but I'm a very, very picky person. You know, I never open up to anybody. You know, it can take somebody. We can even know each other for many years, but still, I won't open up to you. For me, it's all about the intuition. When I get intuition about somebody
yeah,
or
the
about
chemistry.
it's the chemistry. So, Sophie, follow your intuition. It never leads you wrong. Trust me.
exactly.
It's always,
Exactly.
for me, that's how it is. No matter how nice somebody seems or how friendly they seem, there's always a red flag in the beginning of
Yeah.
that person. So follow that.
By the
Exactly.
way, I got a question for the ladies because this
Go on.
I mean, you know, among my friends, we've had this discussion before.
Wait a minute, guys. I want to give a shout out to a guy watching all the way from India, Joseph Victor Vara.
Shout out Joseph.
Hey.
And then Sophie
Hey, Joseph.
is watching all the way from Senegal, Mufti Muhammad.
Hi, baby.
And then
Love you, baby.
Papsek, Papsek, also go Queen Sophie. You have your fans.
Hey,
here
Pop.
tonight. All right. So, E, what were you saying? You want to
Yes,
talk?
I was saying that, you know, I think, you know, amongst the friends group that I have, we've had this conversation before where some of the men actually do hide behind this being strong facade because of what their woman or women are going to say. I don't want my man crying. I don't want my man weak. I don't want my man being this, being that. So I wonder what's your take? What's your, you know, you ladies' take on that? Do you?
I'm gonna, go on. I want to let Sophie answer this before
Okay,
I answer.
Sophie's already, she's already pumped
Oh,
about
girl, you
Sophie's-
throwing me under the
Sophie's more
bus. She want me to
emotional.
talk for her.
No, babe, no. Sophie,
Okay, let's go to the emotional. Let's go to Pisces.
Pisces gang, let's go.
okay, so you're going to zodiac sign right now.
basically, basically, I'm a Pisces. I'm very emotional. Like I will go down with my partner. Like we can cry and share mucus and stuff like that. As long as you open to yourself, for me, I don't have a problem. A man have rights to cry. A man is just like any other being. They have feelings. They get tired. They get cranky. So it's
And it's
okay for a
okay to
man.
lay down.
It's okay if a man is having a tough time and he needs to cry about it. Go ahead. Me, I don't have a problem with that at all. The more you're actually showing me that side of you, the more I'm actually gonna be more attached to you. So
So you see Sophie like the emotional type of dudes. For me, it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
It's a two-way thing, you know, because I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know if you guys know about Sagittarius. Yeah.
both
so-
ladies.
No, for me, it's a two-way thing. Most guys view me as, you know, like you want a tough guy. But that's not the case. Because tough guys don't really turn me on. But you got to be tough in different aspects.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when...
Why are you laughing like that? Talking about being tough in different aspects.
No, yeah, because...
She needs a cap in the way. You to be a plumber, you gotta be a strong plumber.
Thank you.
All right, let's
But when
go.
it comes about your emotions, I want you to be really emotionally like in touch
Exactly.
with your feelings, like
Yes.
be vulnerable. Let me see the real you. I want to see that, and when I see that,
Be in touch with your
that will
feminine
make-
side.
Exactly. I'm not gonna name a guy here, but I'm gonna give an example because Sophie know the guy. He's like when you like a you know tough guy, the way you describe him. When you see him out there, you wouldn't even think that he cries or whatever.
tough-
You know, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
tough out there. But this guy, like between like when we're together, he's very, very emotional, very in touch
See, these are
with
the
his
guys I'm talking
feelings.
about, right?
Like this guy listens to Celine Dion songs and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I was like,
Joe, that's your man, huh? That's your guy. Lifting weights all day and crying in the room.
No, that's my man. That's my man. He a
okay,
pro.
No, but you know what I mean. It's like for us ladies, I think most ladies, I will speak from ladies. 99% of us, we like the guys to be in touch with their feelings. You know,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
gotta be tough in different aspects. You know,
Right.
like when you said changing a car, whatever. You like be tough.
Yeah,
Out there,
yeah,
be the protector. You know, like
Right.
you know.
yeah,
But when we
yeah.
are talking about feelings, or when I'm coming to you about my work day or whatever, don't tell me like toughen up or it's gonna be okay. Like
Yeah.
hear me out, listen
Right.
to me, and be that listening ear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm.
So yeah, so we do like vulnerable guys.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
You broke it down really well.
Yeah.
Both sides of it.
Yeah,
There are
Be a brick,
some
be a-
of
be
us
a
out
strong-
there who accept emotional men, and that's just fine.
but also actually I'm gonna talk on another topic because most ladies who are not like wanting this tough guy and stuff like that, it's just got to do with their own traumas in the past. You know what I mean? Like when you're not in touch with your own emotions and feelings, and you think that the tough guy will make you feel some type of way. That's another big red flag when it comes to toxicness in a relationship. I just feel like a woman and a man, a beautiful relationship is when you are 100% yourself with me,
Right.
and I'm 100% with you.
Right.
Because we're human. We're human at the end of the day. We're allowed to have emotions. We're allowed to be upset. We're allowed to be, whatever we feel at that moment, and that's okay. So being tough 24/7, that is not okay.
That's true.
That's you
No.
pretending. Just like happy couples. You only see happy couples in the social media, right?
On Instagram.
On Instagram, but then behind closed doors is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Well, yeah. So
We
we
scream
Yeah,
at each other
yeah.
in the car. Once we get out, we take a nice photo for you guys.
Selfie
So
time.
let's just promote happiness and Okay, guys, we're gonna take a short break and then we're gonna go to our next question.
All right.
All right.
Amazing. Miss D.
Yeah.
You know,
I need to hear that.
you're good at this. You're good at this.
D, you're the best. You are the best.
Oh wow, Sophie, where did you go? Sophie, we need you back.
I'm
Come
over
back.
here.
Okay, guys, we have about 30 minutes left on this conversation.
All right.
So let's go into deep. So for those who just tune in, we're talking about mental health in our African community and why should Africans take their mental health seriously. As you guys heard earlier, some of us, we don't take anything serious, especially when it comes to mental health. Whenever we're going through something, we just believe that pasta we carry it, or Burana or Panadol we carry that. So we do definitely advise our Africans people to take their mental health seriously. As you know, this is a foreign country for us. It's our second home. It's definitely our second home, but the depression rate here is high. It's really high. And when you seek professional help, they have the right way and right tools to help you be okay.
Right.
Never be alone. Don't be in pain in silence. And it's okay to get the help that you need. If you're a mother
Exactly.
there struggling, you're a single mother, especially single mothers out there, who are struggling with their kids. You don't have nobody to cry to because you don't want to be ashamed or looked down on. Listen, I'm a single mother myself, but I'm here talking about it because it's okay to get the help that you need, not for yourself, but for the kids that you're raising out there. So, my next question. Sorry, guys, I went too deep with the single mother stuff.
No, we should-
But,
let it out. Let it out.
no, because there are some. I have different group, but I have different group of women's really going through it, and I don't want to really share everything. Like I said, I'm a therapist of group of friends. People call me, so when I hear disturbing stories, and it has something to do with their mental health. And most of them, they're Africans, and they're just like, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to go talk to this or help or ask advice because they will say, oh, you're a single mother, you are this, you ask for it. You know what I mean? Like the shame
Yeah.
behind single motherhood. That is something that
That
also
stigma,
that
yeah.
we need to break. Because no woman choose to be a single mother for that fact, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're not happy in a relationship, it's okay to choose you and your kids' happiness than to be in an environment or situation where you think that as long as it looks out there, for the people out there, like happy
For
family.
the image.
Yeah, for the image, most people are in relation. Not, I'm not gonna say most people, but
I
some
won't say
families
no
are in relationship
name.
just because it looks good for the image out there. We're a family, and unfortunately, I was that person for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? I was that person. I was like, I have these two kids with this, the time the guy that I was. We look good by paper, but was that fulfilling me? Was I happy? Was it making me happy? Is this what I want? No, it wasn't. So I had to do what I got to do for me and my kids. And trust me, I've never been happier. I've never been happy. And it's not a shame. It's not a shame
It's not.
to
It's not.
choose you and choose your happiness. So,
Exactly.
ladies out there, please seek that help for your kids. Not for, if you don't want to do it for yourself, for your kids. Because it's what goes around comes around. When you're depressed, the depression will come to the kids also, because your daily activity shows, you don't function well with as a mother. You got to be active and be out there. So when depression hits, it just numb
Exactly.
you.
I got a question.
Yeah, go on.
When a relationship is messing with your mental health, should you fight for it? Joe, what do you think?
No.
Should you fight for it in the sense that should you give it a chance to not heal, but to
Yeah, I will let Joe answer that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna answer.
Please, I need everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So go on, Joe.
It goes back to self-awareness, because if you are self-aware, you can easily navigate or maybe even identify what is the root cause of whatever feeling that you're having.
Right.
So if clearly everything about the relationship is affecting you, and then it's clear, then that you should consider it for sure.
Yeah.
But there are other times also that in a relationship, it might not necessarily be your partner. He might just be a trigger or an anchor to something much more deeper. You know what I mean? So if that is the case, you might actually lose something very important. So again, professional help, self-awareness, these two will always put you in the right position to kind of identify, what is
Which
the right
way to go.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was a great answer. For me, can you repeat the question again?
So if a relationship is made, because I brought this question came to my mind when you were talking about your own personal situation. I think you did mention that at some now you feel better, you're happier and things like that.
Yeah, it was triggering my mental health, because I've always been this happy woman. Nothing pulled me down. At the end of the day, I rise above everything. But then when you have a specific individual, instead of them embracing your growth, they're trying to put you down. Belittling you or say some words. Africans, when it's part of jealousy. When you're jealous or something, instead of, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I
In
get,
my
what, I
opinion,
get,
you know
I
what I
get
mean?
what you're going. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you're going.
So for me, it's always like, oh, do you have to wear that, or do you have to go there? When you are doing something to promote not only yourself but your family. But then you have that individual just trying to make you feel belittled. Less than that, and mentally actually, that's something that no, that was a no for me. I choose my happiness, and with or without a man, I will always be happy.
Right.
So for me, like I said earlier, a man just enhanced to my happiness, but a man doesn't bring happiness to me.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta find your own happiness.
Yeah.
So that's how
Yeah. So if you're with somebody who is just playing with your mental health, please tell that nigga to go. So, come on, mental health is serious. It's serious stuff.
Right, it is.
Exactly.
Of course, if it's becoming harmful to you as a person, and I think Joe, you mentioned a very good point, because there are two ways to it. If the person is a trigger, there might be a way to work around it. But if the person himself is the trouble, then that's kind of a different situation. Then you might have to let go. I was just wondering a place of reconciliation when it comes to mental health, but I think to each his own. But something important that I like to point out.
Wait! I wanted to hear Sophie's on.
Okay, so on the same
same question.
Please, Sophie.
Yeah. Well, I think there is no need to fight, because as people with depression, as we know that when you are depressed, you try to avoid places and stuff that will trigger your depression. So if you are in a relationship where you are not happy and it's not okay, you should leave, because those things really triggers your depression, takes it even far, unless your partner decide to go with you to therapy to try to fix it. Other than that, if he's only pointing fingers on you, then you just take your bags and go,
Yeah,
Right.
that was a
because
good
there's no
statement you just
point.
said. If your partner decides to go therapy, which about how many African men willingly want to go to
If
therapy?
he's willing to do
Or
the
go
work.
Yeah.
to therapy? How many? Zero.
Right, no, I think the men of this age, at least our own set or generation, however you want to put it, I think we're open to that. We're learning.
I feel like you and Jojo, you guys are learning and open, and also Joe over there, you guys are learning because you guys actually facing the reality of
Right,
it. But a lot of African men who don't want to face that reality or not even open to that, they just feel like it's just white and black.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
that's part of the things. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why as when you move to a place, right? There's certain cultural things that you keep, and there's certain cultural things that you actually have to put away. As African men, we always think that we can do it all, we can manage it all. There's some conflict that you cannot manage by yourself. You need a third party, and that's very obvious. Marital issue, relationship situation. Sometimes, in fact, most times, you cannot settle it yourself. You're gonna need a third party,
That's
and
true.
that's the third party is the person we'll call the therapist. Even if it's your friend that is actually coming to settle you guys, the person's actually acting as your therapist
Exactly.
at that very time.
Yeah, and also for Africans, for most of the people who don't believe in therapists, we have this old thing. Back then in the village, you have this elder,
The
who
elders.
are the elders who act like therapists. If you don't believe in therapists, seek some elder. You can be a pastor, or you can be somebody
Right,
who
right.
you respect. You go to that person,
Yeah.
because I think that's more familiar with our African
Right.
community instead of a therapist. A therapist is more like a white man thing, as Sophie said earlier.
Ms. D, you made mention. I think we should just get like maybe a point on that, like the place of spirituality when it comes to mental health. Because you did mention pastor now.
Yeah.
As a Christian myself, I do believe in prayers, but I don't know, where do we place a spirituality when it comes to? Because I think, Joe, what you did, when you went to the Buddhist thing, that could be placed under spirituality, because the monks, I know they practice a lot of holistic kind of,
And more finding about yourself.
Yeah. So what do we think is the place of spirituality, whether you're Christian, prayers, seeking help, pastoral
Or imam.
support, and those,
Yeah.
or those kind of things. So what do we think is the place of that when it comes to dealing with mental health?
Joe,
Well,
what do you think?
again, going back to the stigmatization, this on my part was a bold move that I made, because
Very
like
bold.
you said, you're a Christian. Even my first name is Godson.
Wow.
That is as
Yeah.
Christian as you can be.
I was
God's
shocked when you
son.
said you
Yeah.
went to live with the monks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even thinking about the religious stigmatization, if you're a Christian coming up, hearing Buddhism or Buddha is like evil.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to even go there was a bold move on my part. I had to even say, because I belong to a local church in my city where I lived, I had to even say to them I'm going on vacation. So they had no
Right.
idea. So even that spiritual religious aspect, I had to break the boundaries, but I was at the point where I had to choose me, and then because I was interested in helping myself, I'd rather go there and find out
Some help.
what it is. And now when I went there, there's a lot of things that you learn from them, and then you realize like, oh my God, if I would have stayed in that, Christian dogma, I would have missed a lot of things. So,
Right.
when you see my brand, right, it's a Get Fit for sure.
Yeah.
But I have 4 dimensions. So there's always like the physical aspect, which is the training and stuff. And then there's the mental aspect. Then there's the spiritual aspect. Then there's the soul aspect. So when I say Get Fit for sure, I'm not just saying like let's work on your body.
Physically,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
The whole aspect.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the
Mind, body, soul.
exactly. So the spiritual aspect is very, very important.
It is.
But when you're coming from a certain type of background, then you have to be self-aware to to kind of make that kind of bold move that I did. I didn't have so much of a choice. I had to do it. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
left.
It was a great move eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also for me, I feel like spiritually, if you're a Christian or Muslim or whatever religion you are, if you're going through something, God has pulled me through in so many occasions, in situations and stuff like that. So I am very like spiritual, even though most of you guys won't believe that.
Right.
I'm very
I mean, what
spiritual, you know.
do you mean?
Never seen you in church.
Even Superman is, goes to church.
She does?
I do.
Alright, that's
But
great.
I'm not those Christians. I'm not those Christians
Who
who
show up?
you know what I mean? Because God is for me.
Yeah, I
I
got
have
you.
a private relationship with Him.
Right, right.
Hello.
Exactly.
What
Diane.
do you think about the religious
Wait,
aspect?
somebody's calling from Jersey Radio. Dan on the
I think.
yeah.
Are they trying to
Am
come
I-
in on the topic?
Wait a minute, Joe.
It's not Joe. I want to add my contribution. My name is Junior. So
Okay, Junior is calling from.
You
Where are
gotta
you
love
calling
it.
from?
You gotta be the fake Junior. This is the real Junior over here.
From Esmogescos. Okay. He would like to
Hi,
add his
Junior.
own point of view.
Hi, Junior. What do you do?
Go on.
yeah, I always said that it's not about you working in the street or working 24/7 make you a healthy person.
Mm-hmm.
A healthy person who can take care of himself, who can know that okay, this is what I have to do. You understand? And I always say that every black man living in this country, because we are in a different continent whereby you wasn't born, you activated on this continent. You are here by salvation. If I stand to be corrected. So otherwise, you need to check up the system every time. Like last time we was having this show, I was saying to Jojo that a young guy just died in Pasila. He just collapsed, and he's a Gambian, and he's from Italy. You understand? And it's my heart, because why we don't check up ourselves. We think our food is healthy food. Or we don't buy processed food at the shop, so probably we are cool. And all those things are the things that really disturb us. So we have to take really precaution of things that we do. And like I always said, sometimes you go to hospital, everything is fine. But then you have to
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Health is wealth. Health is
Yeah.
wealth.
You have because I witnessed two people who have passed away, and I've learned from those people.
Right.
Because I can see somebody on the street, the person looks very strong, but in your inner being, is it strong enough? That's a question. So we really have to be careful. These are the type of programs that we can and learn, and it's very, very important. So
Exactly.
from all the way from Olu and
Appreciate you, Junior. Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Jojo and
Thank you, Junior, for calling.
always fight. God bless you.
Shout out to real Junior.
The queen, the Afro queen.
I love your glasses. I need to borrow it.
Thank
Okay, Joe,
you.
you are actually wasting my time right now. Thank you for the advice.
Thank you, Junior.
Oh, wow. Diana.
You made a good point. Your health is important.
He did make a good
The
point.
health is important. Health is
Okay.
important.
Guys, we have 10 minutes before I wrap it up.
All right, Miss D, please, before
Yes.
we wrap up, I gotta get this out, right? I
Yes.
was just thinking now, because as we're talking, I'm just, my mind is all over the place. I think they always say comparison is the, it doesn't bring anything but sadness.
That is true.
It's the killer.
Yeah.
Again, I repeat, comparison is a killer of all joy. Living abroad,
Exactly.
everyone is working hard. You have your target.
That's true.
Yeah.
What it means to be rich to you is different from what it means to me. Success to you, Miss D, might be different from what it means to
100%.
Sophie.
100%.
So all of these things
Exactly.
are subjective. Please, as African community, we should stop comparing each other's success. Whatever you see, we all got our own problem. This is, this also ties with mental health. That's why I'm bringing it up, because
Exactly,
I came
exactly.
here today. I try to look my best. If I look the way I'm feeling, I might not be this clean.
That's true.
And that's the reality. Oh, the guy came here looking nice, white shirt, this and that. But I just came looking my best. So, but if you're gonna say, oh wow, why this guy looks better than me, or that guy looks better than me,
You
Tony
don't
has
know
come
where
up with
I've been.
his own brand. I ain't got no brand. So I mean, we gotta focus on ourselves, because that also messes with your mental health. You start developing envy, anger, jealousy. All of these things
Exactly,
are also
exactly.
part of your mental health. For you to be able to preserve yourself, to be able to live a happy life, you gotta focus on your own self, self growth, be
Exactly.
self-aware.
Be content with whatever you have.
These are important, because
You like what I have? Ask me. I'll tell you where I got it from. You can have it.
Hey guys,
Simple as that.
before we leave, I want you guys to just have your own take on this, because why you think Africans should take their mental health seriously? Because I had a lot of questions, but let's just go to the main thing. Advice for the Africans there. African, you can be African, white, Japanese, human. Why do you think human race should take their mental health seriously? E.
Well, as I said, man, we all have goals. We all have ambition. We all want to do certain things. People are not working for nothing. You're working because you have a plan. You have lifelong goals. You have things that you want to do. In order for you to be a successful human being, and I'm not talking about financially now, because when we talk about finance, the African community is being a billionaire. That's not the point. The point is you want to live a happy life.
True.
Invest in your mental health. If seeing Miss D will cause my heart to be pounding and I will be feeling angry, I'm not gonna see her at all.
But avoid me.
Listen, I'm very serious. As simple as that. This is how I live my life.
That is true.
I don't live my life among people where I'm gonna go to a place and my body is just not comfortable and my heart is racing. I'm sweating for no reason.
Don't make time for it. Don't make time.
Yeah.
For it.
What makes you happy? I think Sophie, you mentioned that earlier. Whatever
Exactly.
joy, the small joys, the small happiness. These are very important, and these are part of the ways that you can take care of yourself, your mental health in various aspects. So please invest in your mental health.
Una don't yeri.
Yeah, don't hear amo.
Una don't yeri.
You
Invest
get
in yourself.
Literally do something.
Please tell me what advice you have for those women.
For me, it's like, for example, a lot of people, they're like, oh, woman, you can do it all. Oh, you do this, you do that, you do. I have depression that I'm fighting. And most of the best way for me to fight my depression is to be involved in many different stuff. Is it cleaning? Is it cooking? Is it baking? Is it being involved in my Afro community? Is it on this? Anything what I can get that it makes me feel happy, I do it. And this I say, I'm not saying that go start drinking alcohol or using drugs. No, what I mean, in a clean way. You start to feel some type of way. Try to look for something to do, and look at it. If you are good at it or not, move to a next one. Always have something. Keep yourself busy. That is one of the things that makes me going.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Queen. That was a good advice. Godson, Jojo.
Yeah, so I think everybody should take their mental health seriously, and also even their general health also very seriously. And like we've been clear, or at least I've been clear, that at some point when I didn't know what depression and stuff was about, I was on the offensive all the time. Like, we don't have this in Africa because we're happy people and that. But when life has its own way of teaching you, and when I learned my lesson, I became more aware, and now I can open up more and be vulnerable as well. So
and you can also educate others.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Exactly.
sometimes I think people should be allowed to change their stance once a certain belief has been crushed or changed by knowledge and education. So I think if you are not feeling well or you are not feeling good, and then you feel like you can't really deal with it, try to find somebody to talk to that you think is professional or has an experience.
Exactly.
Or if you're a person who cannot really talk to people or open up, ask Google or YouTube.
There are numbers on the internet. Literally, I have been a customer to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still do that when I feel like I'm going through like something and I cannot talk with somebody close to me. I have places on the internet where I talk to people. If you feel like you can't talk to anybody about something, there is somebody on the other side. Talk to those people than staying by yourself and dealing with it. Talk to somebody you don't know. You've never see their
A
face.
stranger is the perfect choice.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for your inputs on these matters. Thank you so much.
Ms. D, tell them
Sophie.
to get some rest too. Don't work 18, 20 hours a day. You gotta kill yourself.
Exactly, girl.
Get some sleep, drink some water.
But you know what? Some people have some dreams to chase. As you said, be content with what you have. Some of them, they are not content.
The person who chases the dream is the person who is able and alive.
Yeah.
You don't chase a dream when you're in the psychiatric home getting, you gotta be healthy.
You gotta be healthy.
Yeah.
So be easy.
Yeah. So
even me, I'm learning self-love. Most important, it's self-love.
That's the main key right there.
Self-love. Yeah.
As you guys heard from Sophie, Queen Sophie, and EJ and Jojo, I hope you guys learn few things from this. So please, my Africans, my fellow Africans, I hope we're not hearing all this what we have said. Take your mental health seriously. Most of all, make sure you get yourself checked every 6 months. That's compulsory. Check your blood, check your sugar, check whatever you need to do. Don't let it be last minute thing and then boom, you find yourself somewhere in a place where you cannot save yourself anymore. Always, prevention is better than cure, guys.
Exactly.
Seek professional help. There's no shame in dealing with depression or anxiety or whatever depression symptoms you might go through. You can always save yourself by...
You are not alone.
You're not alone. Right. Act fast.
We are so many. Everybody have problems. We are all going through something. Like true. Anything you can ever imagine. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. You have a problem, please talk to somebody. If you don't want to talk to your family members, your partner, there are numbers on the internet where you can call and talk.
I will definitely put below the link the number where you guys can contact if you are one of the person right now listening to us and you're ashamed to talk to a family member. Please check JC Radio on YouTube. There will be some links and numbers where you can contact those mental health professional people to help you with whatever mental issue you're dealing with. So till then, this was Chat with Ms. D, and we are out.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, guys.
Nice to meet you, Sophie.
Bye, guys. Nice to meet you guys. Hopefully, I will see you guys in person one day.
You will see them in person very soon.
Yes. Ciao, baby.